Hey there, hi there, it's me, Priscilla B, and welcome to Deciphering Dreams with me. So for today's reading, I'm going to be deciphering your dreams, okay? Or a dream that you just had. I don't know, you could be having multiple dreams. But basically, the first thing we're going to do is figure out who you are in the dream at this moment. This card reveals your current state of being, helping you understand your present identity in the dream. Okay? Um so we're going to be doing that. Okay? And let's see here. So the first card we have is the Knight of Wands. Okay, so this is what you represent in your current dream state. Okay, this is your identity for that. Okay, so the Knight of Wands, interesting. So let's see what this Knight of Wands is about here. Air of fire, lusty, impulsive, dynamic, hot, wild, dazzling, rapturous, aggressive, gets what it wants by taking it, holding on, and letting go. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so there's definitely going to be some layers to this. I can already tell. But let's move on to the second card, okay? This is what are my strengths and talents? Okay, like what are your dreams trying to showcase for you? Okay, this card highlights your unique strengths, talents, and positive qualities in the dreamscape. Okay, so we have for you the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords. Interesting. Page of Swords. Okay. Page of Swords. All right. So, taking a look here at this Page of Swords, Earth of Air, passionate, begin again, new interests, new ideas, openness, timidity, something a little bit different. Hmm. Okay, so something a little bit different here. All right. Now we have what challenges or obstacles do you face? This card provides insight into the challenges or obstacles that may be influencing your path right now. And we have the Page of Wands. Interesting that the Page of Wands, okay, is one of the obstacles. Okay, Page of Wands. All right, so the Page of Wands, Earth of Fire, permission, optimism, faith, awe, adventure, and exploration. And that's coming in as a challenge for you on your actual path. Okay. So you want to go on an adventure and you want to explore, but that's the challenge. What opportunities are available to you? This card uncovers potential opportunities and areas of growth in your life. We have the Queen of Cups, emotional intelligence. Okay. So the Queen of Cups, water of water, taking care, looking after, loving, caressing, making well, reassuring, deep empathy, wisdom, and devotion. And then we have for you, how can I best nurture my personal development? This card offers guidance on how to foster personal growth and self-discovery. Okay. Ooh, death. Wow. Dang. Okay. Death. Interesting. Okay, so the death. Okay. Okay. That's a big one. That is a big one. Probably thinking about death a lot, you know? It definitely comes up in dreams a lot. Okay. The beginning of the world is the end of the world. The god form is Maelstrom, the the priester, who is premeditating. Uh, okay, for the connection with the mouth, for what is spoken. Form is final and endings. Words are tiny deaths. Paintings, too. Sculpture. The seed of the future is always in the present, but it is a seed that comes to fruition in the fire of destruction. Death calls each one of us by his name when he comes to call, which is his lovely crown. There is a point here about how to speak something to name it. Is to fix it and kill it. Something about how forms are used up. Something about platonic forms. Reoccurring in the scalpel somehow relates to the prohibition about eating the fruits of the tree of knowledge and the fall into knowledge of death and of sin. Death resists fixity and stillness. It stirs things up. The divinatory meanings are rebirth, transformation, renewal, endings, and beginnings. Purification, family, uncanny, resemblances, unconscious motivations, deep urges, anointing, completion, contractual agreement, terms, stirrings of the subconscious, reverse, falling, stirring up trouble, legal bother, the cops, the fuzz, the pigs, the man, apparent loss or change. Okay, that's a lot. So you definitely, okay, before we get into like what we're like observing here in the dreams, okay, because if we're observing death, if we're observing what that means to us, um yeah, I really feel like we just need like some more clarity on this, because this is just like I feel like the lucid part of your dreams, like the conscious part that you're sort of like the energy you're sort of feeling, okay? um like getting deeper into like observing like signs and symbols in the dreams, like remembering vivid details and constructions, like the architecture of the dream itself. I feel like we need more on that. So I'm going to be using my Alice in Tarotland deck for that. Okay. So as for who you are at this moment, we have the star. Yeah, and this is going to make a whole lot more sense to you, this star energy. Okay? So what you're looking for in your dreams that you know might not necessarily remember are stars or a star, or even just yourself, even just seeing and viewing yourself. Okay? Um yeah, because seeing that symbolism and that sign, I think is going to resonate with you deeper. Okay, so let's take a look at this star energy and how it connects with your Knight of Wands energy. Because your Knight of Wands energy is very like surface level, but deeper down, once you go into the rabbit hole, you're going to see the star energy. Okay, so you're going from conscious now to like subconscious, and then we're going to get into your like unconscious. So there's really like 3 levels to decoding a dream. And yeah, I don't know how else to put it, but we're like spitballing here. Okay, like improv writing, improv dream decoding. Okay, so the star. All right, so star energy. So this is going to be hope, inspiration, spiritual guidance. Okay, this card represents a time where you are filled with a sense of optimism and inspiration. Okay, often after a period of difficulty or challenge, the star signifies a renewed connection to your spiritual self and the presence of divine guidance. It encourages you to have faith in the future and to follow your aspirations. The Star card is a symbol of healing, inspiration, and the potential for wishes to come true. Okay, so in relation to your, Knight of Wands here, okay, because your Knight of Wands is like, okay, I get it, whatever is going on there is going on there, but what's going on under that? So to just expand on the Knight of Wands a little bit, it's energy, adventure, and ambition. The theme of adventure is here. The ambitious part of it, basically, it's like when you or someone around you is filled with youthful, dynamic energy and an unquenchable thirst for adventure. It signifies a fearless pursuit of goals, unbridled enthusiasm, and the readiness to embark on new ventures. The Knight of Wands encourages you to seize opportunities, act on your impulses, and charge forward with unwavering determination. It symbolizes a time of passionate pursuit and taking bold actions. Okay? So, energy, adventure, ambition, bold action, like this is what you're feeling on the surface. And then what you're going deeper into is like hope and, a sense of optimism and what that adventure brings. Okay? So, um, yeah. Okay. So, moving into your second card, okay, where we had the Page of Swords. All right. So, this was, you know, this was like, this was your strengths. Okay. This is what your talents are. Okay. And your positive qualities. Okay. So, I feel like this is in relation to your career aspects here. Okay. Yeah, definitely career for sure. Okay. So let's take a look at that and see what's going on with that and explore that and open that up. Okay, because I feel like that's a very strong common thing that gets projected into your dreams a lot. Is like who you are and how that gets channeled into like what you do. Okay. All right. So the Page of Swords is about curiosity, new ideas, intellectual pursuits. This card symbolizes a time when you or someone around you is eager to explore new intellectual horizons, engage in critical thinking, and embrace a quest for knowledge. The figure in this card stands with a sword held high, ready to face intellectual challenges and seek out fresh perspectives. The Page of Swords encourages you to approach problems with an open and inquisitive mind, remain adaptable, and explore new ideas. It signifies a time of intellectual growth and learning. Okay, so I'm gonna like draw another card from the Alice in Tarotland deck, to maybe get like a more specific version of that, of what your talents are, because obviously you're a very creative person. So let's see here. Ooh, yes, King of Wands, the King of Passion here. That's your talent. Okay, being a very, very passionate person, and tapping into that. Okay, so a leader, hello, inspiration, vision, and delegation. So what you're doing essentially is you're taking all that curiosity and all those new ideas, and you're making money off of it by being a leader. Okay, a time when you are someone around you embodies the qualities of charismatic and visionary leader. It signifies the ability to inspire and influence others through your vision and passion. The King of Wands encourages you to embrace your leadership role, exude confidence, and take bold actions to achieve your goals. It symbolizes a time when you can make a significant impact by leading with enthusiasm and vision. And that's exactly what the Page of Swords and the Knight of Wands are all about. They're all about that enthusiasm, that eager to like grow intellectually, to be a leader. Okay, so yeah, interesting. Okay, so your career is definitely being a leader here. Okay, like taking on a management role, taking on the role of project leader, team leader, captain. Like these are titles that really, you know, like are themes in your dreams that you're drawn to. You're constantly seeing yourself being uh, respected and seen as a leader. Okay, amongst your peers in the dream world as we're getting deeper into your subconscious. Because on a conscious level, you're a very creative, passionate person. But how does that translate, right? Okay, so now we're looking into your challenges and obstacles and how this may be influencing your path in negative aspect or maybe in a positive or both. Like you're looking at both sides to the equation. You're looking at the negative side to the equation and you're looking at the positive side to the equation. You're just kind of like mapping out your path in your dream world, your dream path here, and you're seeing what you're seeing ahead, you're seeing what obstacles are you going to face moving forward versus what obstacles are, I mean, versus like what rewards are you going to receive once you overcome those obstacles. Okay, because those obstacles are going to exist regardless, but how do you get through them, over them, under them, however you can maneuver it, depending on the obstacle. Okay, so that's where you had the page of, okay, yeah, that's where you had the Page of Wands. Okay, so your Page of Wands, and I'm seeing like this figure is almost like you looking down a pathway or looking toward a pathway. Maybe this is you looking forward, or maybe it doesn't. I feel like either way, right? It's like looking forward and seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, seeing yourself on the other side of it, right? Okay, so yeah. Okay, Page of Wands. Let's see what the Page of Wands is all about. Since we're in the Wands sphere here, we have again enthusiasm, exploration, and new opportunities. That's like the same exact thing as the Knight of Wands. Well, the Knight of Wands is more of like energy and ambition, but here it represents and symbolizes a time when you're embracing a fresh and adventurous approach to life. It signifies the eagerness to explore uncharted territories, pursue creative projects, or embark on new adventures. The Page of Wands encourages you to be open to exciting opportunities and embrace your creative and passionate nature. It symbolizes a time of curiosity and a willingness to take risks in pursuit of your dreams. What? So you're getting like all the best answers, okay? Like, oh my god. Which is a good thing. I'm surprised like it's like flowing so effortlessly, honestly. But anyways, there is the reverse side, right? Because we're looking at challenges too. We're looking at obstacles. So the reverse side of this would be a lack of direction, like not sure which way to go from here. Be also impulsivity and limiting beliefs. Um, it suggests that you may be struggling to find your path or maybe acting hastily without considering the consequences. Reverse, the Page of Wands serves as a reminder to focus on setting clear goals, planning, and avoiding impulsive decisions. It encourages you to reflect on missed opportunities and seek a more deliberate approach. Okay? Good thing you got the King of Wands there to kind of lead you. You might want to be a leader for other people too, but you also have to, lead by example, right? So definitely exploration and enthusiasm here, um, and having a clear vision of what it is that you want. Okay. Um, So I'm going to draw the Alice in Terrorland card. And we have the King of Cups. Oh my God. You have the King of Wands and the King of Cups. Okay, this could not have come at a better time. Because subconsciously, the King of Cups, that's where he operates in your subconscious. Okay? That's where he's getting into the emotional stuff. He's getting into your feelings. He's really starting to learn and understand what it is that you are so passionate about and why. And it's on a very intellectual level, but it's like also emotional too. It's not just all logic, blah, blah, blah. That's, a different card. That's like, the King of Swords. This is like, whoa, this, you are serious about this. Like you're very, very emotionally tied to this. Okay. So, that's a good card to get. Because you're like, I need a clear vision. The King of Cups is there to help with that. Okay. So let's take a look at this King of Cups. Okay. So the King of Cups is emotional mastery, compassion, and diplomacy. That's how you can be a leader. Okay. You're wondering, like, how do I be a leader? This is how you do it. Okay, this card signifies a mature and balanced approach to emotions, often associated with someone who is empathetic, wise, and in control of their feelings. The King of Cups invites you to embrace your emotional intelligence and offer guidance and support to others with empathy and understanding. It symbolizes the ability to navigate emotional challenges with grace and diplomacy. This card encourages you to lead with kindness, wisdom, and emotional stability. And that was your question. Your question was, how do I see this clear vision through to the end? That is my challenge. That is my obstacle. Okay. So that's really is the King of Cups here. Okay. And that is going to be, an emotional master, a master of emotions. Okay. All right. So that brings us to your fourth card, which was what opportunities are available to you. So, looking at what opportunities are available to you, we have the Queen of Cups, right? And this comes in right alongside the King of Cups. So, it's like a perfect pairing here, a perfect time for you, okay, with the Queen of Cups. It's definitely going to take, I feel like, you a minute to like fully process all of this coming in, because it's like, a lot hitting you all at once. But I feel like with the Queen of Cups, you're going to also have emotional stability here in your process, okay, of decoding your dream. So with the Queen of Cups, you have compassion, intuition, emotional stability. So you have the master of emotional stability, and then you have more of it. and you have compassion for yourself. Like it's okay to like feel bad for yourself when you're like feeling so overwhelmed. It's okay to feel like overwhelmed. Like the Queen of Cups is there to help you with that. And trusting your intuition. This card signifies a nurturing and empathetic presence, often associated with someone who is deeply in tune with their emotions and possesses a keen sense of intuition. The Queen of Cups invites you to embrace your inner wisdom, trust your gut feelings, and offer support and understanding to others. It symbolizes emotional security, warmth, and a deep connection to the inner self. This card encourages you to lead with empathy and kindness, both for yourself and those around you. Okay? So leading with kindness here. And that's where your opportunities and areas of growth in your life are coming from here. And then we have, how can you best nurture your personal development? Okay. But before we get into that, because that was the Death card, so it was coming off a little bit strong there. Okay. We're going to go into the subconscious here, and we have your Seven of Wands with your Queen of Cups. Okay, so I feel like that passion that you're feeling, you're gonna have maybe a little bit of like a pushback with that, but it's important for you to like stand your ground. Yeah, defensiveness and standing your ground and determination. Okay, the card symbolizes a situation where you find yourself in a defensive position when it comes to your dreams. You're coming across, like, you're always coming across other people trying to create conflict with you. Protecting your beliefs and principles. It signifies a strong will to maintain your position and face challenges head on. The Seven of Wands encourages you to assert your boundaries, uphold your convictions, and demonstrate resilience in the face of adversity. It symbolizes a time when you need to defend your values and protect what is important to you. Okay, so this is a time of boundaries here. Okay, boundaries are very short, are very strongly indicated here. Your intuition is telling you trust your boundaries, encourage you to keep those boundaries intact. And then we move into the Death card. Okay, another reoccurring theme here, or energy here, if you will, in your dream world. Okay, how can you best nurture your personal development? Okay, this card offers guidance how to foster personal growth and self-discovery. Right, we only have like this one life to live, so let's live it as best as we possibly can. Let's treat each other with as much respect and love and compassion and understanding as we can. So the Death card, that's going to play a huge, I feel like, a huge significant role with you in regards to that transformation, that ending, that renewal. You have to like end the old stuff that you were dealing with in order to gain new perspective and new insights into all the new stuff. It's a time for profound change, where the old must give way to the new. The Death card signifies the shedding of the past, releasing what no longer serves you, and embracing a transformative process. It encourages you to accept endings as a natural part of the cycle of life and to welcome the potential for rebirth and renewal. The Death card is a symbol of personal transformation, growth, and embracing change. Okay, so it's all about transformation and change here. All right. And you want that change, you want that new adventure, you're looking for that. Okay, so on a subconscious level, we have the Six of Wands. So we have the 7 and the 6. 6, 7, 6, 7. Okay, no. I'm sure everyone is tired of hearing that. Okay, but the Six of Wands is victory and recognition and triumph for all of the hard work that you've done, that you've come this far already. Okay, that's what you're seeing in your dreams. Yes, you're seeing death in your dreams, death of the old, death of the old ways that weren't working out anymore, and you're standing your ground and you're saying that's not working anymore. Okay, that's your boundary. You're like, I'm done with that. And when you do that, that's when you get your victory. That's when you get your triumph. That's when you get your reward. So it signifies a time of success and achievement, where you've overcome challenges and are now basking in the glow of victory. It often suggests public recognition, accolades, or sense of accomplishment. The Six of Wands invites you to embrace your achievements, stand tall, and acknowledge the recognition you receive for your efforts. It symbolizes a period when your hard work is acknowledged and rewarded, and it encourages you to take pride in your accomplishments. Okay, so that Six of Wands is like, you already laid out the groundwork here. You already did the work. You already put out the boundaries here. You already laid the foundation out. Now it's time to celebrate and have your victory. Okay, so that's what your subconscious is really trying to emphasize here. Celebrate that you've won. Okay, because you've already come so like far on this journey that you've gone on, and you started off with like this feeling of like hope, and you started off with this feeling of positivity and adventure, and it's taking you to the deep, you know, I want to say like the deep dark caverns of your subconscious here, but it's also it's brought you out of the deep and into a beautiful, you know, landscape of light and hope and possibilities and renewal and just time for a celebration. Okay, so looking at that, you know, we move into your unconscious, the parts of your mind that like you just don't even try to control it because you can't. It's gonna shock you. It's gonna surprise you no matter what you do. So there's no point of you in trying to control it, okay? But it's just like kind of little teeny tiny little reminders you kind of set for yourself that like, you know, there's that side of you that like it's just kind of like the shadow, okay? It's referred to as like a shadow, and you just can't. It's definitely fueled by like your ego and stuff a little bit, but it's like you can't really like control it, but you can be aware of it. You can have self-awareness, and because you have King of Cups, Queen of Cups, already I can tell that like you don't let like your pride take over your rational reality here, okay? Yeah, you've got the Seven of Cups, okay? And that's who you are in this moment, okay? That's your identity right now, is this Seven of Cups energy, okay? So pretty much what that means with the Seven of Cups, you're looking at possibilities, decisions, and dreams. You can't really control what you dream. You just can't do it. Like I mean, you can try, but it's not going, like, you go to sleep at night, you really can't control what thoughts and things pop into your head, okay? So don't try to do it because it's not gonna work, okay? But we have here, this card represents imagination, choices, and possibilities. It reminds you of the need for clarity when faced with many options. You have so many opportunities, but pick wisely. Some options may seem great at first glance, but come with serious downsides. Dreams also only become reality when action follows. All right? And then you have, there are decisions to make within your relationship. It could be picking a partner or evaluating family versus work. Take the long term into account. You may be inspired with ideas on how to develop your career. Commit to one and invest your time and energy into it. Your options may seem overwhelming, but it's time to make a choice. This also warns that some options are illusions. Okay? So know the best choice here, okay?
Mommy, cheese.
Right? So yeah, basically like you are the dream. So basically, like, you are the dream, okay? I mean, you are the one deciphering it. So, and the dream is yours, okay? It's just important to remember here, like, don't get caught up in, like, all of it all at once because it can be very overwhelming, and it's better just to, like, process it little by little over time, okay? So, that being said, we're going to go into what are your strengths and talents on an unconscious level. Okay, so like you're not even really aware of this, okay? But it's good to know, but it's like, do you really know? It's like one of those kind of like trick questions, okay? Oh my god, no. Oh, I really didn't want to get this card. Wow, it could be any other card but this one. So your strengths and talents are death. That's your strengths and talents. I know. Pretty grim, okay? You're not like the Grim Reaper, okay? But I feel like you probably have a lot of just underworld energy, you know, like a Valkyrie, okay? I like to think of it in a positive way, okay? Like Lilith, underworld energy, Persephone, you know, the goddess of spring and of the underworld. There are positive aspects to this, okay? So it's not all like death and fear and long list of things that make us feel sad and negative headspace, okay? It doesn't need to be like that, okay? I am a fan of certain horror movies, though. Like, I love Scream, you know. Also, I really like the Insidious franchise is a really good one. There's a new one coming out. But it's important not to, like, think that, like, your like, death itself, and, like, I feel like a lot of people probably project their insecurities and their problems onto you, and their own, guilt and shame and so forth and so on. That's their problem, okay? Not yours. Um, but yeah, you got death at the end of the reading, and death was your personal development that you're trying to nurture and discover here. Um, so, positive qualities, unique strengths, and talents. Okay, so let's take a look here at the death card. Um, Change, transformation, and endings. Fearing change, clinging to the past. See, that's where you get wrapped up in, like, other people's bullshit, is that they cling onto the past way too hard, way too much, and there's no change here, there's no development here. You bring about the change, like, you are the catalyst here, okay? That's why you get all the hate. Unfortunately, but that's where your boundaries come in. So it kind of all, like, interconnects, okay? Death represents transformation, endings, and new beginnings. It marks necessary change and the clearing of old cycles to welcome renewal, such as spring. So from winter to spring, okay? So your career is in death. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't mean like you're gonna have a career in death, but like you probably could be like one of those people that loves true crime series, like solving mysteries, detective stuff. There's a new one. It's not really like true crime as it is more of like a drama, but it's definitely really, really good so far. I love it. And it's on Apple TV, and it's called Imperfect Woman. Imperfect Women? Anyways, it's so good. And it has a great cast. I'm going to just tell you, so you know what show I'm talking about. Um, yeah, Imperfect Women, okay? And it's got Kerry Washington. I loved her in Scandal, okay? That's the other thing about you. I feel like you're always in the scandal, but you're like also there's your career right there, fixing the scandals, like Kerry Washington's character in Scandal, right? Um, and then Kate Mara, I love her. She's definitely like one of those like more like under the radar celebs, but she always finds these very like multi-dimensional characters to play. And she was in House of Cards, and like that was so many years ago. But yeah, like okay, so and there's also Elizabeth Moss. I mean, Handmaid's Tale. Hello. So her character in that series, ending things, transformation, boundaries, right? So think of it in that scope, and then I feel like you're gonna like understand yourself maybe a little bit deeper, and more meaningful way, and not in such a like ooh scary type of way. Okay. Anyways, okay. So I think we covered that. Okay. But yeah, let's see. Oops. Okay, here we go. So we have death represents change and transformation. The past needs to die to make room for a brighter future. Something needs to change for the relationship to grow stronger. It could be an aspect or a person. If looking for a relationship, you may need to change an attitude or a belief. For your career here, ends create beginnings, and the same is true for work. This could mean changing jobs, a bad habit, a team member, or a mindset. And then reverse, clinging to the past or resisting change will not help the situation. It is time to let go and embrace the change. Right. Okay. So the challenges and obstacles here, I can already see that clinging to the past is one of them. But as long as you're not doing that, it looks like things are going to take a positive turn here. So, yeah, Nine of Cups. Okay. So, as a challenge or an obstacle, the Nine of Cups, um, your success may have led to arrogance, and this card is encouraging you to stay humble. This success may also feel empty. Remember that hard work and the people who helped you get there. Um, Success, fulfillment, and satisfaction, though, are there. So, arrogance and empty success, I feel like, is something that you're around a lot. So it kind of just like unsettles you a bit, because you don't like that, because you just are like focusing more on like the victory aspect of, your overall dreamscape. um, but yeah, let's take a look at this. So we have represents emotional satisfaction, gratitude, and personal contentment. It reflects fulfillment and heartfelt accomplishment. Um, it's been a long journey, but you finally got what you've been working for. Enjoy the moment. Yeah, that's that victory feeling. The relationship is going great and bringing you fulfillment. This relationship could be with yourself or another person. Projects you've been working on may be nearing their finish, and it's time to celebrate. The hours you've put in could soon be recognized and rewarded. And that's what you're focusing on here. Okay. And sometimes I feel like you're around people who are very arrogant and they don't really celebrate victories and accomplishments of anything really, or even what you've done, what you've brought to the table. But you're a leader, so it kind of is like maybe it is time to replace some of those people because they're not really celebrating you, are they? Yeah. So yeah, but with that in mind, so looking at that, we're now going to move into the opportunities that are available for you. Okay, and ooh, okay, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. All right, these are the opportunities that are in front of you. Potential opportunities and areas of growth in your life. And this comes in with the Queen of Cups. Okay, so your intuition here, um, and your boundaries. Yeah. Sensible mentorship, practical. The Queen of Pentacles embodies practicality, generosity, and nurturing support. She encourages grounded care and resourcefulness. The Queen is balanced between business and home. She is financially independent while still exuding nurturing energy for her loved ones. This can be you or a person in your life. The relationship is both practical and warm. There is emotional support in the home and for your career. A mentor or family and friends may be providing advice to further your career. Use their guidance in making decisions. Reverse, the Queen's energy turns inwards, which can manifest in selfish decisions or work-life imbalance. Ask if you're doing things for the right reason. Okay, so again, I feel like this shadow side to it all, which is like I feel anyways, it's deeply rooted in this unconscious. Could be something that you're seeing, but like you're not like, I guess there's this sense of like awareness, but it's like trying to get that to be like just trying to kind of like shed light on that um is gonna be um definitely an opportunity for growth here. um yeah. So how can you nurture this development though? within regards to your self discovery. Okay, and we have the Page of Wands. Um, I feel like we also have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like we have two energies for this. So the Knight of Pentacles is about routine and steady progress. That's going to be really key here for you. It's following a routine here, because yeah, it's just going to be so important here, because if you have a lack of discipline, then you're a workaholic, and you're not a workaholic. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles symbolizes steady progress, responsibility, and consistent effort. It reflects reliability and patience. You are executing your goals, or you're executing your goals, I'm sorry, through a meticulous plan. It may take time and even seem mundane, but the repetition and routine will generate results. Commitment, trust, and stability are important elements of the relationship. The two of you may also be taking things slow with a pragmatic approach. Building your career may be a long process. Stay committed to your goals, and your hard work will pay off. Okay? So, yeah, so this Queen of Pentacles energy is really going to be like practical, warm, emotional support in the home and for your career. A mentor, family, and friends may be providing advice or further your career. Use their guidance in making decisions. So it's all about like really good practical magic, like Practical Magic 2 coming out soon with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock. So it's time for a little bit of witchiness, okay? So that brings us to the final card, and that is the Page of Wands, okay? And the Page of Wands, okay, this is going to be your potential adventure, ideas. The Page of Wands symbolizes curiosity, and you started this journey with curiosity, so it's just a full circle moment for you. Enthusiasm and youthful exploration. It encourages you to follow inspiration with an open mind. This page signals a person who sees the potential and opportunities. He has a long-term vision, sorry, but may not have acted yet. Maybe all he needs is a plan. There is potential for adventures and excitement within the relationship. The grand plans may lack follow through, but a push might be all it takes. A new role or project may present itself that can push your career forward. Make sure you plan thoroughly and execute all of the required tasks. Okay? So, that's going to be that full circle moment where you started off, you started off with the page. Well, you started off with the Knight of Wands, but you went into like Page of Swords energy, and then you did eventually get the Page of Wands again. So it's kind of like you're having that full circle moment here, and that's bringing you closer to yourself, and that's bringing you to like the end of the dream in itself, and you're waking up now, and you're getting, you're feeling a certain type of way. Yeah, and we have serenity, truth, and perspective. Okay? And connection. So we have perspective, connection, serenity, and truth. So your truth here is honor truth in your actions and words. Authenticity fosters trust and genuine connections. We have serenity. Find serenity in moments of peace and tranquility. It restores calm and inner balance. And we also have here connection, nurture meaningful connections with others. They enrich life with support and understanding. And we have perspective. Shift your viewpoint to see things with different eyes. Okay? So you're going to be doing that because you're really going to be exploring deeper depths of understanding to what these signs and symbols in your dreams mean in the future, and you're just starting off your adventure and you're enthusiastic about it. So that's a great start right there. And once you do that, and once you start gaining a more clear understanding of like all the things that you want to do, then more messages will come through and you'll gain more clarity as time goes by. But that is your dream deciphering reading for you. Okay. So I hope it helped. And please subscribe to this channel. And thank you so much for all your love and support and positive energy. And till next time, love and light always. Thanks for watching. Bye.